Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Mike Stezo,
This is Tosh,
and we are,
Up Top Apparel.
and you're now tuned in to Connect the Dots with our people, Lou Hicks. Let's go.
Yo, if you fucking with sports, culture, and hip hop, make sure you connect the dots with Big Lou Ice Water. You are ready.
Yo, peace. It's your man Hakeem Allah, aka Ox the Light, and I'm representing for my man Duquan Hicks, aka Louis Icewater. Yo, make sure you check out Connect the Dots and also the Hip Hop Barbershop. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of Connected Dots. I am your host, Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, as we give you the flavor that you need to know. First of all, I want to shout out to everybody out there, my subscribers. I appreciate you checking in and you know what I'm saying, and following these dots that we have to connect. This is going to be a short one, you know what I mean? So, but still gravitate to what I'm saying, gravitate to connecting the dots. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about Jaden Ivey. And the reason why I want to talk about it, because a lot of people are not talking about it. And, you know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that when you stick up for what you believe in, you get canceled. And he's sticking up for something that I believe in as well, which is called God and having faith in God. Now, remind you, even if he's having problems mentally or whatever it may be, how come the Bulls organization or any organization should have reached out and gave him help? That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to fire someone because of what he believes in, regardless of what the contract says or what the contract is. Contracts can be voided, contracts can be broken. And the thing that you have to understand with the Chicago Bulls, I'm going to bring this up to you too, is they had the same problem with Craig Hodges. Remember Craig Hodges that played for the Bulls back in the 90s? He went to the White House after they won the championship. He was dashiki and African stuff, and he gave President Bush a list of what's going on in the black community. And the Bulls organization didn't like it. So what did the Bulls do? They fired him. Same thing with this guy. So it could be an organizational thing. But my thing is, if you believe in something, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stand in what you believe in, number one. And you have to have integrity, regardless if you're going against the man or the machine or whatever you may call it. Regardless, who cares about the man and the machine? When you have your own beliefs, if you have your own beliefs, keep believing in your own beliefs. And I'm going to ride with Jaden Ivey on this one. I'm going to ride with him regardless of whatever. And then, the fact that, his wife decides to leave because he doesn't have any money or he lost his job or whatever it may be. Now, like I said before, I'm not messy. So I'm not going to go into the wife and situation. That's not what I do. I'm just talking about the facts that I know. And the fact is that the Colin Kaepernicks of the world, the two guys that put their fist up at the Olympics in the 60s, people who try to speak out get punished. And why is that? That means they must be right. If you're punishing people for speaking out, then they must be right. Because if they're not right, why would it matter to you? Why would it matter if they're wrong? If you're a big business and a big establishment, why would it matter? So to me, I think these people are right. And y'all don't want to face backlash. And that's the problem with today's society. People talk behind the computers and the cameras and this and that's fine. But I'm a type of person, I'm going to talk behind the camera. And when I see you, I'm going to talk the same way that you see me now. I'm going to talk the same way. So I'm not going to hide behind the camera. When I see you, I'm going to address you the same way. That's where I'm from. I'm from the addressing era where we address people in your face and on camera. That way there's no contradiction. So Jaden Ivey, I'm riding with you because first of all, you're a black man, number one. And number two, you're speaking out on faith. Two things that I have to agree with. Regardless of any circumstance, I have to agree with those things. So you tell me what you think about Jaden Ivey. You know what I mean? He played for the Chicago Bulls and he gets canceled for speaking out. Regardless if it's something right or wrong, if whatever he's saying, it doesn't matter. The point is freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say. That's why it's called freedom of speech. And if it's written down in the Constitution that you could speak what you want to speak, then he didn't do anything wrong. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Regardless of what he's saying, because he didn't say that word fire, because that's one thing you can't say. And he didn't say no curse words, and he wasn't degrading anyone. He was just giving his stance on it. So I'm riding with you, Jaden Ivey. So let's talk. Let's talk. You know what I mean? This is what we do on the show. I give you full facts, and I give it to you the way that you want to hear it, not the sugarcoat way. We don't sugarcoat on Connected Dots. If you're a sugarcoater, please leave this page. We don't do sugarcoating. Please leave this page if you sugarcoat. All right. So I want to talk about why are women, and I want to say this, why are the modern day women fixated with surgery? Fixated, my bad, fixated with surgery. Why are they so, wanting to look like something else, more like robots? Because, you got a lot of women taking Ozempic because they want to lose weight. You got a lot of them doing tummy tucks. You got them doing Botox. You got them doing BBLs. Can a real woman please raise her hand? If you ain't doing none of that, please raise your hand. If you ain't doing none of this, ladies, this is what I'm talking about. Like, when you doing all of these things, don't you know it messes with your mind psychologically? You become something else because you have so many things that you have to keep up to be in this society and to be in this world. Why is it about competition so badly that you have to do these things to your body? Do you know the after effects of this to your body, ladies? And of course, there's some men that do it too, but the percentages are more leaning towards the woman. That's why I'm talking about this, because I have two daughters and I don't want my daughters going down this line of not thinking that you're not good for the world or not good for yourself. First of all, everybody is beautiful in their own way, in their own special way. We are beautiful. Let's keep that a buck. We are all beautiful in our own ways. All I'm saying is, and I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, and I say it 3 times. All this stuff that you got going on is a psychological problem, a psychological trauma. Think about it. If you want to look this great, that you have to do all these things to keep up with the modern day woman, that has to be a psychological problem. So, woman, if you are hearing this, please comment on this. Let me know what you think about this, because has to stop. First it was just a white woman thing. Now it's a every woman thing, because this was happening in the 80s and 70s, maybe the 60s. You know what I mean? I call it the Marilyn Monroe syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Because I think she wanted to look the best that she can, so she did everything she did. Then in the 80s, you had a degurgitation moment where women would throw up their food because they wanted to look slim. They had to be like Bo Derek in the 10s. And now you have this Ozempic movement. And it's a shame that women will do whatever they can to cheat instead of exercising. Exercising is the best way to do stuff because it doesn't mess with your body physically. No side effects when you exercise. And when you have to do all these things to keep up, then there's an issue. There will always be a problem. There'll be problems at home. There'll be problems at work. There'll be problems with your kids because you will become something else than what you were before. So, like I said before, tell me what you think. I want to hear the comments on this, because this is something that we have to do. And also, It could be that a lot of people lack a good support system. If you have a good support system in place, your support system will give you the keys to the car, which meaning they will tell you, look, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Some people don't have a support system. So all they do is they go by what they know or they follow, because this is the following era where everybody wants to be followers instead of leaders. So always have a good support system, man. Always have a good support system. It's very important. Very important. You know what I mean? So tell me, what do y'all consider crossing the line? And what I mean by crossing the line, like if someone did something real bad to you or something evil to you, what do you consider it being crossing the line? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm pointing this out, because crossing the line comes in various ways to where we do something that we can't come back from. So nowadays, I'll give you an examples like people getting killed over onion rings at Chick-fil-A, people getting killed at McDonald's over an order. Is it that bad that you have to cross the line to kill someone over little minor incidents? This is what I mean by crossing the line. You have to know when crossing the line matters and when it doesn't matter. Now, if someone spits in your face, that's crossing the line. I'm with you on that. You handle your business. Don't kill them, but beat them down. I'll give you that. But arguments at restaurants and getting killed over food, that's not crossing the line. That's just egotistic dumbness. Stepping on somebody's shoes and you want to kill, that's just dumb stuff. And then you got in California what they call DP, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of crazy to me. Disciplinary punishment if you're wearing certain types of sneakers or shirts or hats. To me, that is not crossing the line. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, you have to know when crossing the line matters and when it doesn't. Road rage. And I can raise my hand on this because sometimes I have serious road rage, but I'm not out here killing people. I'm not out here getting out the car and beating you flat in your tires. I may say a couple of words that you don't like, and then we keep it moving. But people are getting killed, road rage, because of crossing the line. So this is a message for everybody. Before you cross that line, you better think about your kids. You better think about your wife, your husband, your family, and think about the consequences if you cross that line and can't come back. So this is a, you know what I'm saying? This is a message that I want people to understand. You have to know when and how to cross that line. For real, facts. Also, I want to say a rest in peace to African Bambaataa, man. Yo, you have to say this, man, because he represents the Zulu Nation. Shout out to the Zulu Nation. Y'all did a lot for New York back in the 80s when it was wild, wild, wild. People were getting killed at an alarming rate. 1981, we led the country in crime and murder and all that stuff. So African Bambaataa came at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to the pioneer, one of the pioneers of hip hop, one of the pioneers of getting gangs off the street and into the community centers so it won't be that many killings. One of the pioneers of making gang Zulu so the gang culture back then wouldn't be what it was. People keep forgetting we started gangs way, way back, not glorifying it because that's not what I do. But he was one of the pioneers of slowing it down and getting these kids off the street. So rest in peace to African Bambaataa, Zulu Nation, Zulu in effect. So like I said before, and I say again, it's another episode of Connected Dots. This is the short version. Usually I go 25, 30 minutes in, but you know what I'm saying? We got to pay these bills. You know what I mean? That's what they said back in the day. But anyway, like I said, one love, one life, one Lou. God bless. Yo, don't forget to check out Connected Dots next week. I got DJ Shakim. That's right, finally. My brother, DJ Shakim, on Connected Dots. Yo, one life, one love, one Lou. Peace.